Hello everyone, this is GamePro24X, and today we're going to be doing the special mission tasks that you can complete in single player that can net you some free S Plus staff. Konami adds a few more tasks for some of the missions every 1 or 2 weeks. So I'll be sure to keep up with all of this and eventually catch up to the current ones. So the ones that we're going to be doing today is Occupational Forces, Subsistence, and both tasks require you to capture some guard posts and stuff. One of them is requiring you to capture an outpost, while the other one is requiring you to capture 3 guard posts. And the difference between the two are the outposts are the ones with the actual name of the area, as you can see here. And the guard posts are the ones that are just marked with a number, and they just have like a very few guards. They're essentially the checkpoints, if you want to call them that. We are approaching our first guard post. And if you have a very high intel unit, you'll be able to see their fields of movement much more tighter, and you'll be able to predict where they're going to be a lot more accurately compared to someone who has like a rank F in intel. So a neat little thing that you can use is the bionic arm, and if you have it fully upgraded, you can use that to your advantage to find soldiers that are wandering about. Since we are in subsistence mode, we do not have our night vision goggles. We have absolutely nothing but a bionic arm. Now the main goal right now is to not only take out the entire guard post, but to also acquire a weapon. Because my way of handling it is to obtain a weapon and use it to hold people up and make sure they stay down. Alright, great. We have our weapon. That's going to be the number one thing that we're going to be using all throughout this entire run, if you want to plan to do this without getting caught and such.
The map has been updated.
Another thing that should be noted is that when you use the knock feature on the bionic arm, they have to be within 15 meters to actually hear you. So you want to try to do as much as you can and use the cover in your environment to try to divide and conquer. Now we're going to be getting in a lot of situations where CQC is going to be needed if you get spotted.
Get down. Speak.
Usually I ask them for info and then I tell them to get down. That way they're a lot less noticeable and I get some extra info out of them.
The map has been updated. Guard post captured.
There we go, we have successfully captured this guard post.
The map has been updated.
So now we're going to make our way to Sakurai Village. And I'm just going to trim out all the traveling bits, that way you guys are not annoyed with just snakes just running around. So in this village, you're going to have a sniper rifle right here, and then he's going to be your first target. Be very careful because they will have some landmines placed around the area, so be careful not to trip over them, or else you will draw people's attention towards you. There he is right there. Now the thing is about the snipers is that they are currently looking through the scope, so their field of vision is actually a lot narrower because of that. So you can, in some instance, almost be in front of them and they won't see you, but I'd rather not risk that. So I am just crawling on the ground and getting around him as quietly as possible. Now when you don't get the option to tell him to get down or anything like that, that means he's about to do a little trick and he's trying to trick you so he can stab you and then, you know, alert everyone. So a quick way of doing that, a quick way of getting rid of him is either CQCing him, or you can do what I did, which is to quick dive and aim the gun at him while he's on the ground. At that point, he has nothing that he can do about it. So right now, I only have a limited view of where all the guards are, and I'm using my bionic arm to help me locate the rest of them. Now also be mindful that you will also detect animals that are roaming around as well. But surprisingly, it also picks up on the decoys that are placed around, which makes a lot of sense because they are moving around on their own.
Where are your friends? Talk.
But the important thing that everyone needs to keep in mind is to take it slow and be patient. And don't forget to check your eye ray to confirm if there is an enemy guard around you. That way you don't run up to a sonar location and it turns out to be like a rat or something. Now with these riot suit dudes, you have to engage them with CQC. There's really nothing else you can do. If you try holding them up, they will always try to pull a trick on you. Yeah, see, and as you can hear, he was just pulling out a knife when I quick dived into him. But because I accidentally used a sonar, it prevented me from doing anything. So after you pick up these documents, you'll instantly trigger a checkpoint. So that means everything that you did just now, every person that you have downed, will stay down if you happen to mess up and you hit a restart checkpoint.
That document you just got is the deployment plans for the Smasi Fort reinforcements. According to the plans, the colonel is supposed to join up with a tank unit at Waksin Barracks and then proceed to Smasi Fort. Those tanks being on the move doesn't make things easy.
Make sure you try to mark as many people as you can. That way you know where everyone is at all times. Surprisingly, after you reach the documents, I think a few more guards spawn randomly. So that's why you're starting to see more of them pop up. Sometimes you have to take a little chance. And if you know you're in the clear, you can risk running up to people and CQCing them. This is something that takes a lot of practice and experience to fully do without any hesitation. And yeah, at this part, some people are running towards me and I have no idea where they are because they are brand new soldiers that appeared. But like I said before, one of the main things that you should always keep in mind is just be calm and rely on your skills. Make sure you use cover and try to surprise people as much as possible. What you can absolutely do is, if no one is looking at you, you can actually use your gun and shoot them in the leg and stop them from causing the alert. Now, of course, whoever is still around, roaming around, they will be alerted to your gunfire, but they won't cause the alarm yet. They have to actually see you to actually cause the combat alert. So, using the rifle is what I would consider a absolute last-minute resort, especially if you only have just like 1 or 2 guards roaming around left. So there's the target. They are just going to pass us by. They're going to end up at the other outpost that we're going to be getting to later. Because you still need to complete this mission, unless I am wrong, but yeah, I decided to complete this mission afterward. That way I know for sure the task will go through. So it appears that there are still some guards roaming around. And like I said, the second you knock out the last guard, the iDroid will notify you, letting you know that you have taken over the entire outpost. And to my surprise, I guess I never picked up this cassette tape. Funny, because I played this game for so long and I missed something that should have been something that I should have gotten a long time ago. But hey, sometimes shit like that happens. So what I've decided to do at this point in time is I'm going to run all the way back to the very beginning of this village when I first entered it. And I'm going to trigger a checkpoint. That way I can turn around and immediately go after the remaining soldiers that are roaming around outside. Because if I happen to fuck up while pursuing the other soldiers, if I hit restart checkpoint, it's going to restart. The checkpoint's going to lead me all the way back to when I first got the documents. And of course, I already downed a bunch of people already, and I'd rather not do that again. And also, it's another thing to know is that this doesn't require like timing. This doesn't require an S rank. None of the tasks are asking you to do that for this instance. So you can take your time, and it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna use that to my advantage, and I hope you guys do as well. See, I didn't know that there was a mine there, and I was fortunate that I tripped over it and it didn't hurt me, but yeah, it caught me by surprise that I tripped over it. So like I said, you need to be very careful and keep your eyes open. Because we don't have the night vision goggles, so we can't easily spot them in the grass. I knew there was no one else around, and I knew I can reach him before he can actually call the alert. So that's why I ran towards him. But like I said, you need to be absolutely sure there's nobody around. And to do that, you need to check your iDroid and make sure there's nobody around that could possibly see you. But as I said before, this is something that takes a lot of experience and practice to fully grasp and do. So at this part, I did fail like 3 times, so I'm going ahead and skip all the failures and just give you the definitive what I did to get through it. When you do restart checkpoint, it does kind of reset the soldiers' positions and their patterns. So you do want to try to use that to your advantage as much as possible. Now, instead of seeing them, you could just quick dive into them, knocking them down, and immediately pointing your rifle at them. That's another option you can do as well, if you don't feel like knocking them out, kicking them to wake them up, and then to hold them up again. So it looks like there's just 2 guys left, and it looks like I'm in the clear. And fortunately, there's a checkpoint right there, so I don't have to worry about messing up, because even if I do, I still just go back there, and it's just these 2 guys left.
Clouds approaching.
Now, I didn't want to do the CQC slam because I had a feeling that I was going to alert the guy in front of him. So I decided to grab him, let him walk forward a bit, and then CQC him. And there we go. We have 1 outpost captured. So they gave us some useful information. The first guard post that I captured actually contained an unmanned armored vehicle, which is what we're going to be using at one point in this video to help complete the rest of this mission.
Marker placed.
So to any of you who are using this exact path, be sure you grab this vehicle before you leave. That way you don't have to come all the way back and do this again.
Destination.
At least it's a set of wheels that can help you traverse the entire land really quickly. So right now I am on my way to the next guard post, so I can capture that. The turning on this vehicle is very bad, so I wouldn't advise driving at full speed, and you know there's a lot of sharp turns.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis complete.
Now, something that you can actually do, you can actually capture all of these posts going loud. If you kill everybody in the entire guard post, you will capture it. So, like I said, you don't have to go stealth like I am. I just chose to do that because I know there's a lot of people who like to go that route. But for the sake of completing tasks, if you find this a little bit more challenging, then I would recommend you just really go in there guns blazing.
Where are the others? Speak.
So it looks like there's 1 guy left I haven't marked, and there we go. So there's only 4 guys in this outpost. Or, sorry, guard post.
Hands up. Get out. Where are your friends?
Caution. Sandstorm approaching.
I'm not 100% sure if you can use bombardment during subsistence, but if you can definitely use that to your advantage. Like I said, these tasks do not rely on you completing this under a certain time or rank. So you can do whatever you want so long as you complete the tasks. Now, as I explained earlier, as a last-ditch resort, you can use your rifle, shoot them in the leg, and prevent them from causing the alert. It will put them in an incapacitated state, but they will bleed out and die. And if you don't want to have any deaths during your round, just go ahead and Fulton them, and they'll be taken care of. Now, I thought the Sandstorm would arrive a lot sooner, and I could have used that to my advantage. However, that's not the case. So now I gotta drive in this Sandstorm. One neat little trick that I came up with on the fly was using the iDroid's one of the iDroid's functions so that I can drive while having the map up at the same time. And you do that by when you press pause, you press triangle. and you can still function, or you can still operate the vehicle and drive at the same time. So what I did is that I am just making sure my cursor is in line with the actual road. That way I can actually drive through this sandstorm without any worries.
Base.
Being mindful of the little hedgehogs that are placed before and after a guard post.
Clouds approaching.
But yeah, you can definitely use this little trick to help navigate through the sandstorms without any fear of falling over a cliff. Now, surprisingly, I was not expecting this, so the guy who you're supposed to capture, the captain, he's actually right here by himself, just chilling. So, I've never done this mission this way, so this was a complete surprise to me. But because a sandstorm is currently active, I can use that to my advantage and literally just run up to the dude and capture him. It's not like he's going to do much, and it's not like there's anyone else watching him either.
That's your target for elimination, the Colonel. All reports.
Now, because I have the wormhole Fulton, it's a guaranteed 100% full every single time. No matter what the weather condition is, it's going to be 100%. Because, well, look at it. It's a wormhole. How do you fail that?
You never cease to amaze, boss.
Alright, so we are right next to the other outposts where the remaining 2 tanks are located that we have to destroy. But before doing that, we have to capture one more guard post, which is just up ahead of us on the road here. So I'm going to go ahead and park my vehicle and just jog right over there. Now, to be honest, I think it wouldn't have made too much of a big difference if I brought the vehicle. I mean, I think it would have brought me there sooner, but yeah, it's not like you had to do this. But look how close the guard post is, so. I really do wish I had magazines, that way I can at least toss them and cause a temporary distraction, because that would have helped so much during this entire run. Yeah, I don't know why Snake keeps on missing, but yeah, that really annoyed me. So it looks like for some reason they're going to go all the way around instead of just running up the road. I have no idea why the AI chose to do that, but yeah, we're just going to follow them and try to catch them. So it looks like they spotted the 2 downed soldiers. Now, if the soldiers were dead, they would have been immediately calling for backup and such, and that just would have made things a little bit more hairier when we go and try to capture the outpost or other guard posts.
Post captured.
Now, because he saw me, you know, it was a fight or flight response, so I had to do something to prevent him from calling the alert and completely ruining this entire run. Because if I get caught right now, all the other bases that I had just captured with holding people up, they will immediately get up, and I think technically they wouldn't be in a captured state anymore. Therefore, I wouldn't get the task done. However, if you chose to go and kill everyone, then that wouldn't exactly be a problem for you.
Arrived at the mother base.
Alright, so I spent like a good amount of time in this area because I was trying to find where the comms equipment was and just a good way to approach this. But I finally found out a good way to do this, and here it is. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take out this guy in the guard tower. It's funny because you can still grab them even though they are far away, far up the tower. But you're going to grab him, Fulton him, that way he doesn't get in the way. So the comms equipment is right where I shoot. And it's going to take 2 shots to fully destroy it. And once you've done that, even if you get caught and it could cause a combat alert, they will not be able to call for reinforcements or anything like that. So basically, it will be an isolated battle. So right now I'm trying to position myself, but also stay pretty far back here. That way they have less time finding out where I am. This part's a little challenging because it's daytime. I can't see the little reticle telling me where the area is going to be affected. If this was at night, I'm pretty sure you would see it and you wouldn't have any problems. So I decided to shoot one flurry of rockets in one area and then shift it slightly forward and then shoot another one. Thankfully, I was able to destroy one tank with just those 2 rockets. Those rockets do take a while to reload, so I decided to switch to this main gun and start firing at him. Now, surprisingly, no one actually caught me during that entire little skirmish there. I don't know how or why, but I don't know, I guess I was just lucky. But now that everything is completed, all I have to do is reach the hot zone, and we are done. Now, if you want, you can actually capture that outpost and then 3 other guard posts if you feel that that one's a little bit easier to manage. Just be mindful that that one doesn't have much high cover, like buildings and such, like how I use the terrain in the mountain to my advantage. There is still a lot of stuff poking up from the ground that you can hide behind. And mostly all the guards are out in the open, so that's a really good benefit if you have that sniper rifle and you can just pick people off. And as you can see here, that guy was still down, and had I been in the combat alert, he would have gotten up and he would have been trying to shoot me, and the outpost wouldn't have been captured. But like I said, because I got lucky and I didn't get caught, and on top of that, I did destroy the comms equipment, so even if I did get caught, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have known either way. This mission was very long and tedious, but I hope you guys are able to complete this a lot easier than I did. And hopefully you can probably streamline my path. But yeah, there we go. We got an A rank. And there you go. Both challenges or tasks are completed. So now we get ourselves some free S+ staff. So whoever needs those, you guys can go ahead and enjoy that. But I hope this video was very helpful. And I'll be sure to do more of these on the other missions as well. But this is GamePro24X, and I'll see you guys later.